So, first, Nashville sounds. I'm going to be doing a couple of these, but the first one I'm going to do is the pick with the N in the middle of it. There's also another one that I'll be doing right afterwards that has an MC for Music City. Really easy, I just transfer the pick and then change the letters out. So, without any further ado, let's get ready on the pick. So the pick shape, it's going to be kind of like this. We're going to have to maneuver it a little bit so it's a bit wider at the top. What I like to do is start with the background color first. So the back of the pick is black, and then I'll tweak this a little bit, make the gray inside in just a moment. So I want this curvature to go up just a little bit further. Then one at the top here. Just stick out a little bit more here. Actually, there's a better shape for this. Let's go with this one. Let's try this out. So what I like to do is just take the shapes that I have, fill in the empty spaces, that way it's a bit easier. Kind of messing stuff up with the skew tool actually. There are a lot of times where I go to scale the logo and it does the skew tool instead, really messes things up. There we go. So take all these, group them, paste it on the other side to save some work. So it's just a tad off. Let's take the top, even that off a little bit. And there's a slight ridge in our curvature right there, so I'm just going to fix that real quick. So there's the back of our pick to start. Group them all together. Inside is gray, so let's take the gray shape. That's probably good. So what I'm going to do is save this right away so I can go back to it. Let's do sounds pick. Now the next part is going to be the let's see, this one's a bit tougher. So script is one of the things that I'm not very good at. I'm still learning, still trying to find techniques to make the lettering a bit better. This one's going to be a little bit trickier too since it's a 3D effect. So you can see the black line on the outside of the N is a bit thicker and also extended compared to like what most letterings would be. Most letterings are going to be the same thickness of line on the outline all the way across. This one it's a bit thicker in one place. So let's get started with the circle first. So I'm going to be close to the edge of this right here. There's also going to be another one that's kind of the 3D effect right next to it. The red's going to be a sharp scarlet. Actually, before that, we're going to do the same gray that we used before. Compare it, says the one I use. Now we can go ahead with the scarlet. Actually, there's another black later in there. go with there. Now for the curve shapes, where like the tip of that N is, kind of in the bottom of the screen, like right here. I'm not sure if you can see my mouse hovering over it. What I like to do is use these curve tools right here that I'm highlighting, or the three down here. So to start out with, I'm going to use this one. Let's make sure it lines up with the curvature of the N. Fill in this little crack right here too. I'm going to go with this line right here. And then eventually what we're going to want is for this curve to feed into a straight line like this. One thing I can already tell that I'm going to fix is this circle needs to come over just a little bit. And also up here, start adding the outline. All right, fill in this crack right here. We also have silver line that's going to be added. Actually, it's better off with this one since it's a bit thinner. That'll work. Before I forget, I'm just going to start grouping stuff so it's easier to maneuver later. I usually like to group stuff by color or layer. So all this black is on the very bottom part, and then it's the silver one, and then it's this black one on top of it, then the red. Alright, so actually this can go back here. Next step is we're going to have a little flat piece down here. Actually, I should keep extending this because this goes a little bit closer to the bottom. You know what, I might have to move this over a little bit. So what I'm doing is I'm angling it just a little bit more since the bottom of the pick right here, the end extends over the edge of the pick. So if I tilt this just a little bit more, it'll get a little bit closer to what I want. Let's go right about there. And extend that one a bit more. Oops. There we go. So just ever so slightly goes off the edge with the red right there. And then what I'm going to want to do is take a few curve tools like this. Kind of flush out those edges because there's a little bit of a curve going down into the, actually make it a bit shorter. Let's go right about there maybe. Copy paste on the other side. This will actually be a bit flatter. So now we can group this all together. What I'm going to do is copy this, save myself some time. And actually I don't need that top part. Just this stuff. I'm going to do the basic outline first, and then after that go onto the 3D effects. So right now I'm just going to add a basic universal black outline here, and then I'll go back in and add the edges where the bottom right corner of the N is right there. I'm going to save so I don't lose my products. Progress. And sounds pick. You know what? Actually, this is mirrored onto the other side, more or less. So I'm going to copy, paste. This is going to flip horizontal and vertical. I'm going to actually get rid of the silver part because it's not there on that one. It's a little bit different. Then we're going to go back in and on this part right here add some silver trim. Let's see. The next part we're going to want is a red curve. Is this the same red I was using? I believe so. So it's going to curve up like this. Get these two to match, more or less. Alright. There's a couple of points poking out right here in the middle of the N, which is going to be a triangle, which is also curved. So what I'm going to do is do the triangle first, then add some curves onto it. Let's do both sides. Copy paste on the other side. Just adjust it a little bit. Whenever I flip something horizontally or vertically, it kind of messes up how I adjust the shape. I'm just going to get a new one at this point. There we go. Group those. Oops. Let's get the black version going here. So before I mess up anything with the 3D effect, I'm just going to save again. The amount the servers go down, it's probably a good idea to save every few minutes if you know you're going to be making a lot of progress. Alright, so I have the basic N. Now what I'm going to do is add in the 3D effect and the rest of the silverish gray trim. So that looks pretty thick right there. Maybe just a little bit more here. Alrighty. Let's group all that stuff together. Let's see if I can fit it into this other one. Maybe a little bit. Alright, last one is we want more curves down here. Actually, this entire thing is black right here. Kind of feeds into this little spike in the N. That's looking pretty good. 3D effect. Alright, now the rest of what we gotta do is add some gray trim, which I'm going to use this one. Just group these together first before I forget. Actually, at this point I can just group all the red and black together. So, silver. Make sure it matches. Yep. Oh, I'm on the skew again. Take these gray ones, match the curvature of the point right here as close as we can. There we go. Little ones down here, I'm going to use this more pointed one. There we go. So you've got the one right here. This one's just going to be mostly a straight line. Some more straight lines up here. And I'm going to see if I can copy paste this one onto the other one. Oh, that's not the one we want. Copy, paste. Well, not exactly, but saved me a good portion of work. There we go. There's your Nashville Sounds pickaxe guitar pick logo. How long did that take us here? A little bit less than 25 minutes. So not bad for 25 minutes work. That's a main logo for somebody who could use it the entire year. So